It's a kind of, well, it's an imagined version of what happens to Christopher Robin when he grows up. And as is often the way with these stories, he's lost touch with what made his childhood magical and has become a sort of rather depressed and average man, I suppose, trapped in a job he doesn't know what to do with a lovely family that he doesn't spend any time with. And then he sort of magically reconnects with the animals and the toys, which kind of made him what he was. So it's a very lovely story. It's quite sad, which appealed to me a great deal, and it's got a lovely kind of 50s British sort of feel to it, and then has this wonderful kind of Disney magic to it. Well, as I say, it's a very authentic sort of 50s London. I was very impressed with the script, which you might expect to have lots of kind of American ideas of what Britain was like then or is like now. It was extremely, it has a lovely ear for the dialogue of the period and the kind of absurdities. It's sort of Ealing Britain, I suppose. I play the idiot head of this luggage company, which Ewan works for, and who thinks he's kind of clever and in charge and isn't, which I suppose kind of makes me a Disney villain, and I'm hoping for an action figure. I think it's always been a kind of innocence, isn't it? There's something brilliantly, I mean, we have two Labradors, and Winnie the Pooh's always reminded me of that. It's just about food. When they look at you with sort of love in their eyes, they're just secretly going, honey, sort of. And there's something very childlike and appealing about that, which I think everybody relates to from their own childhoods, and then looking back and looking at what makes kids tick and everything. Yes, I read them as a child, but I do actually, and the Ernest Shepard drawings I just adore, and I mean, they're very rare and expensive these days, but you see them coming up occasionally on the Antiques Roadshow and stuff like that. There's always a fuss about it. Oh my God, and this one's signed by Ernest Shepard, and there's something frisson about it. But actually, I think I really do know the Disney version better than that, because we all kind of grew up with those. I certainly remember going to see Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day. I don't know how I was probably about 30. No, when I was a child, I remember going to see that. And that version with Sterling Holloway, Jim Cummings' American voice, it sort of shouldn't work, and yet it does. And that is the voice of Winnie the Pooh. Tigger with a little bit of Eeyore.